Hey, welcome back everybody, Evan here. Now, as you've been following me, you know I've been off-roading and overlanding for quite some bit in my Rivian R1T. And over the years, I've kind of figured out some of the things that I need to help with the essentials. And one of those items that I particularly need is actually a center console molle system that'll sit in the center console and hold on to certain items such as molle pouches, your radios, and stuff like that. And so to bring this to you guys, I've started my first small business called Electrified Overland. And so this has been the first product I'm going to bring to the masses, and it's already out and available for pre-order now. And I'll leave some information down in the description below. And today what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and go through the installation process with this. And I'm going to show you how easy it is to install this in your Rivian R1T or R1S. We're going to do this in this beautiful Rivian that we have here in the background. We are shooting live here in Flagstaff, Arizona. Just got back from Overland Expo. And so with that, let's have at it. All right, so what I want to do is kind of go over some of the tools you're going to need. First off, you're going to need an Allen. This will be for the screws that come with the kit. This is going to be a 4mm. You're also going to need a wrench. I prefer an open wrench. This is 11mm. This will be for the nylon nuts. For the assembly, to mount this into the vehicle, you're going to need a socket, 15mm. Preferably a long extension handle ratchet. The bolts that we're going to be using to tie that down are actually torqued on pretty tight. You can actually turn around and use an extension bar, or if you see fit, impact wrench. Another thing you'll see in a kit, you don't have to install are these rubber bushings here. These will go in between the molle panel and the center console. Those will help with the vibration and side-to-side movements. Let's go ahead and install this in the vehicle. To begin this installation, the first thing you want to do is move all the seats back. This way you can have access to the front bolts. So there's a driver's side and a passenger side panel, so be sure you're installing the correct one. The way you know is this one's facing the vehicle and this bracket is facing outside. So this particular one's going to be on the passenger side. Once you have the seat moved back, you have access to the bolts for the front seats. The one closest to the door you'll loosen but not completely remove. The one closest to the center console, you'll completely remove that bolt. These bolts have a lot of torque from factory, so we're going to use our breaker bar to remove those bolts. Now that I've gotten it broken loose, I can use my ratchet. Get that adapter out. I can use my ratchet and do the rest by hand. That one will be slightly loose, and this one will remove it completely. Now that we got the bolt removed, we'll set that aside. So this piece here allows the mounting panel from rotating forward. If you have a rubber floor mat, such as we do have here, try to tuck it in between. And what you do is with one hand on the seat, the other hand holding the molle panel, you'll slightly lift it up and slide the molle panel in until you see the bolts holes line up. Okay, so this is an example of how it should look like on the passenger side. And with the holes matched up, got the leg tucked in behind the floor mats here, we can begin installing the bolt back in and tighten the side up.
Repeat the same steps on the other side. Tighten the bolts down to 94 Newton meters or 68 foot-pounds of torque.
Okay, so now that we got both the driver's side and the passenger side installed, all that's left is to get the top piece installed, and that'll be here. You'll simply go within, in between the two of them. So you'll take your screw and feed one side in, and just kind of put the nut, lightly tighten it by hand, and just get them all lightly tightened by hand, and then you can whip out the tools to tighten it. So we'll go ahead and get that started. We'll take the nut and we'll put it on the inside and just kind of hand tighten it. The washer can be used on the nut if you, the washer can be used on the screw on the outside, but if you prefer a cleaner look without the washer, feel free to go ahead and do the install without the washer. And repeat that for both sides. Both sides have a pair of screws, 2 screws. All right, so now that they're hand tightened, we'll take our 11mm wrench here, open side to grab onto the nut, and then our 4mm Allen on the other side, and we'll give it a good tighten. Doesn't have to be torqued too much, just a good snug. The nylon of the nut's going to do its job and hold on to that screw. So now that both sides are tightened, as you can see, there's very little play back and forth. So you really don't need the rubber bushings unless you absolutely have to. I'll leave that up to you. And so it's pretty much ready to go. And so what you can do is you can install different molle accessories such as this. They don't have to be tactical, it's just whatever you have. This particular one, I guess, is used for a magazine if that's what you're picking. You can put a flashlight in this one. Maybe you have a tourniquet kit you want to install. We also have this front-facing system here where you can mount different accessories such as ram mounts, maybe a small fire extinguisher, whatever your heart desires. So that's the beauty of this, that it is completely configurable to your needs. I have my radio bolted to this side here where I can get access to it. I have molle panels to the side for spare radios. There's a pouch that I have that can hold a pretty decent sized water bottle because the Rivian one is pretty much too small to hold those type of bottles. And of course, you have room for all the other stuff, including your camp speaker and everything else. What I've shared with you today can be easily accessible and purchased through my links down in the description below. Thank you very much, and be sure to update you for new exciting products that I have coming out soon. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave any comments down below. Until next time, guys.